Oh, don't expect anything from me. If that should be the name of the game. Forget calling it Chaos Ahead. It should be no semicolon expectations. But the girl still wasn't moving, and I started to get a little worried. When I got halfway up the second set of stairs, I turned around to check on her. Oh, that's right. He abandoned the little 6-year-old, or however old she is, hanging out in high school. She fell, and he was just like, fuck you, bye. That is like anime girl T-pose right there. She looks like she wants to throw up the horns, but she's in a school. This must be difficult. She was clinging to the railing, pictured here, and trying her hardest to stand up, also pictured here. Her knees were shaking like she was a newborn deer. There was blood on her knee. Maybe she'd scraped it. That noise. She did a little and he went, oh. It's like he just came. Jesus Christ, are you serious? I'd seen her face somewhere before. Was she the one who transferred into my class last week? What was her name again? I couldn't remember. Don't worry, Takumi, neither did I. And she was crying, too. What a baby. God, baby. Did it hurt that badly? And sure, it was a bad fall, but it shouldn't have been enough to make her cry. Good God, what a baby. Nobody else was trying to help her. They couldn't see her. She was invisible. She finally managed to just barely stand up and then began to look down at her knee. She seemed to be checking how badly it was hurt. She wiped away her tears, then put down her bag and started to rummage through it. What was she trying to find, I wondered. Oh, probably a Band-Aid. Or a bandage. Band-Aid's, Band-Aid is copyright. She suddenly pulled something out of her bag and held it above her head like she'd won a great victory. Insert da 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 da. A bandage. Whoa. Does she speak exclusively in mirthful sighs? She quickly flushed with embarrassment and looked down. Well, she seemed okay. She didn't need my help at least, right? Nobody needs your help, Takumi Nishijo. I decided to just head to my classroom and leave her there and abandon her twice. Rip. I kept my head down and my gaze glued to my feet, as always. I arrived at my seat wordlessly. Actually, hadn't that girl said something to me on the day she'd transferred here? I'd forgotten all about it with what had happened with Rimi, but what had she meant? Ugh, not this guy. As always, Misumi said hello to me. Maybe he didn't have any friends besides me. I can't imagine why that would be. Both of you are just stand-up gentlemen. That would explain why he only ever seemed to talk to me, at least. Oh, he actually noticed guys? Doesn't seem like he pays any attention to any dudes except for Takumi, so that's crazy. Huh? Now, I guess Rimi, they're pretending to be friends in this timeline. The two of them are... Oh, detectives. Whoa. Detectives. They're coming to get you, Barbara. Now it's got something to do with Taku. They're coming to take him away, haha. They're coming to take him away, hee hee, ho ho, haha, to the funny farm. Maybe the new gen killer goes to our school. Yeah, maybe. For some reason, I found myself thinking of Rimi's face. What is that? Who scratches their head like that? Is she missing fingers? My body froze. Speak of the devil. I heard Rimi's voice and my heart rate jumped. I couldn't look up. I was too nervous. It was a totally different type of nervousness than what I'd felt last week, though. Wait, this shit. Oh, she grew in size. That's crazy. She's fucking massive compared to him. Look how big her head is. You bump into it. What are you talking about? Yeah, did they ask you if you know Takumi Nishijo? Is he capable of murder? Check 1 for yes, check 2 for definitely yes. Yeah, probably on his computer if I'd have to guess. Shit, her too. I commit crimes. The two of them were talking, one on each side of my desk. They were both totally ignoring me. But to be honest, I preferred it that way. If Rimi talked to me, I wasn't sure I could answer back. I'm kind of useless that way. I was hoping that the bell would ring, but when I looked over at the clock, I saw there were 5 more minutes until first bell. Oh my god, is it going to be 5 more minutes until something interesting happens? Kozue? That could be anybody. I don't know. Kozue? Who's that? The girl who transferred it. Oh, that, thank goodness. Yeah, she fucking fell down a flight of stairs and I went, good luck. So her name is Kozue Orihara. She'll be here soon. No, she won't. That's it. Her leg is ruined. She's going to be put on injured reserve. She's out for 6 months as ACL tear. For definite. Misumi's voice was filled with eager anticipation. I hadn't seen him this alive since he'd found out that Fess was a girl in the next class over a few days ago. I'd never seen him excited about anything that didn't involve girls, actually. Like, dude, I like, shit, I like women, but this guy's so much. He's the fucking most. Jesus Christ. More things are allowed to occupy your head at any one time. Come to think of it, hadn't he tried to hit on the transfer student on her first day too? It was kind of impressive, actually. No, it is not. Especially since he already had a girlfriend. No, he does not. I'm not answering that. I wasn't sure how to answer it. The answer is no. She's like 2 feet tall and obviously lying about being a high schooler. I shouldn't say that. There are girls out there who are just really tiny for their ages. I remember I used to work with a girl who was like 4'11" and she was older than I was. She's a cool chick. Gave him a vague nod. He seemed to take it as a yes. And he's thrilled. Yes. Oh boy. Oh, you gotta protect her because she's small, SMOL. All the guys agree. 9 out of... But the girls don't like her. This is like wrestling logic. The only reason that there are feuds between the women is because girls just don't like each other, ever. You can't have a faction of girls in wrestling because they'll always just end up getting catty and turning on each other. It's fucking nonsense. Too many girls in this class have really nasty personalities. Coming from this guy, that's amazing. Yeah, you get him, Rimi. Drag his ass. On gravel, preferably. There's no fucking way he's got a girlfriend. Of course your nameless girlfriend's not gonna like her. Her nameless boyfriend started hitting on the girl right in front of her. Oh, his girlfriend's a bitch. She's not real and she's a bitch. That's crazy. Yeah, quit being fucking gross, Daisuke. You're not popular. You're an enemy to women everywhere, so just cut his fucking balls off. It can't be that hard, just one swipe. There's Orihara. Oh, she looks like she's hurt. Better hit on her. She fell down the stairs, already told you. It was from when she tripped. Of course, I didn't tell them that. For now, I wanted to minimize the amount of time I spent talking to Rimi. What a great main character in a visual novel. Doesn't want to talk to anybody. Misumi ran off to the transfer student. Rimi was now the only one standing next to me. Oh, fucking backfired. Please, Misumi, don't leave me. Rimi didn't say a thing, but she didn't make a move to leave either. I kept staring down at my desk so I couldn't see the look on her face. I could only see her waist. But I could tell that she was facing me. She was looking at me. Because I wasn't looking at her hips or butt. What should I say? Some kind of normal greeting. Hello, fellow human. This is a normal greeting. But I never said hello to anybody, which meant if I started here, it would seem really unnatural. Yeah, especially she's been standing next to you for the last 15 minutes, and you just look up and go, hello. Talk about the transfer student. I never gossiped with Rimi at all, so if I started now, it would seem really unnatural. Thank her for the other day? No. Should I apologize for being mean even after she'd saved me? Being mean is part of my regular routine. Not being mean would seem really unnatural. Ask her what she was doing there? Or ask her if she held me close because she liked me? Oh my god. Or maybe ask her what she was doing at the scene of Crucified. No way. None of those were things I could just bring up in casual conversation. Damn it, what was I supposed to do? The silence was making the pressure worse and worse. I needed to say something. It would be even more awkward to just sit here in silence. I knew both these things were true, but the words just didn't come. I hated dealing with the 3D world so much. How could anybody deal with this place? If just trying to talk made you feel like you were choking, I needed to get home and have Seira-tan make me feel better. I don't like the implication there. Rimi finally spoke. My body shivered. I still couldn't look up. Oh, yeah. Slept for 36 hours. It was wonderful. Rimi's voice dropped low. It felt like I could feel her breath faintly tickling my ear. I looked up to see her face was close, and she was whispering to me. Her body was close to mine. Guys, you're in a school. Her soft, warm body that held me so close in the middle of the road. The sensation of her body filled my mind, and I couldn't think about anything else. Yeah, you shouldn't have cared. Honestly, you should have let him get run over. Somebody in Shibuya would have done it. They'd have just been like, yeah, who's gonna tell? Taking him out. I nodded forcefully several times. Fucking, it's like SpongeBob style. Just. Yeah, okay. Yeah, don't tell me what to do. That was all she said before she turned to go away. Suddenly I wanted to ask her. She'd said whatever I'd done was dangerous. What did she think I had been doing? Standing in the middle of the road? Are you dense? From the fact that she hadn't brought them up, she might not know anything about the people disappearing from Shibuya or Shogun and his wheelchair. Did that mean they were really part of my delusion? I wanted to ask Rimi that, but I didn't feel like I could raise my head and ask any more questions. Not today anyway, I wasn't ready. You get no questions. I need a whole day to recuperate for that. I'd ask next time. Next time I came to school. Yeah, that was it. I'd take some time to think about everything I needed to ask. Oh my god. That's why these games are so long. Yeah, she's coming to stab you with a sword. The transfer student? It's been 50 seconds and I already forgot her name. At least I know that she's Kozue Orihara now. Why would she be coming over here? Was she going to get mad at me for not helping her on the stairs? Probably. I'd be if I was like, oh fuck, I fell. And I just stuck my hand out like, hey, can you help me up? And you're just like, later, chief. I'd be pissed at you too. You get? She didn't look like that type of girl. Small. Small girls are not vindictive. Maybe she wanted to talk to Rimi and not me. She really does only speak in mirthful sighs. Just meh. It's like a bleat. The transfer student stopped right next to Rimi. She wasn't saying anything. What was going on? What happened to dude? Did she stuff him in the fucking shadow realm? Like, where did he go? With Rimi here, I couldn't look up. The transfer student's feet seemed to be nervously fidgeting, but she didn't say anything. For some reason, she put a single bandage down on the edge of my desk. What does she want? She want him to put it on for her? It was a fancy one. And it had a weird character, Garrow Froggy, on it. He's going to be scared. He's going to be frightened by a bandage. I mean, Garrow Froggy is no Metaru Upa. Was she giving me this? It's a present. It's got her blood on it, and it's all for you. I wasn't sure how to react to that. This transfer student, Kozue Orihara, was a bit of an odd one. Can she not speak? Wah, don't cry. She's not crying. Was she crying? Why was she crying? Because I didn't say anything? Is it because I'm rude and awful and mean-spirited? No, that can't be it. She didn't say anything either, right? I don't think Taku's mad. Rimi backed me up. It felt strange. I didn't know anything about Rimi, but she knew all about me. That's unfortunate. Yeah, he's so shy. Ta ha ha. You're giving me a bandage. She said arigato like she really fucking happy to get a frog bandage. She bowed and ran back. Oh my god. Okay. I'd find that odd. Why had she given it to me? It's a good question. She's really quiet. You don't fucking say. I could sense Misumi coming back. Yeah, so could I. His sprite showed up. I misread that. That looked. When I first read that, I thought it said I showered her, and I was like, "Yep, that sounds like this prick." I showed her around the school on her way here. Ooh-wah. Spare! Spare! Oh, he got... It's the most emotion anybody in this cast has shown. Yeah, she didn't even want to talk to me, and I'm so cool. She would break into tears. Yeah, that sounds about right. A really pure heart. Uh-huh. When is it revealed that she's the killer? Ugh, God. Starting to hate that word. You holding in a shit? You need to poop? You want to just poop? Right now? In class? I shook my head as hard as I could. Feeling a little poke out. And this is surprising? That's because you're here, Rimi. I'm not ready to talk to you. I never really talked to a female friend before. I'd never even had a female friend. Gross. Hate this guy. What is that pose? Girls are brutal. Yeah, don't you have like a... If you actually do have a girlfriend, you should consider being more loyal. Shithead. Oh, hell yeah, shut up. The same smell? They smell similar? Does that mean she lives in a storage container of rot as well? Yeah, you're both gross. Ugh, goodness. When does the fun stuff happen? The sound of the bell told me that all my classes for the day were finished. As soon as I heard it, I packed up all my stuff and headed out the door. I wanted to get the heck out of there as soon as possible, partially because of the awkward distance between me and Rimi. But also, I had something to pick up at Mangadarake today. In the end, I was never able to say a word to Rimi. I had several chances to talk to her, but I kept silent the whole day, just like I'd done in the morning. Maybe that was mean. Maybe I just made it even harder to talk to her next time. It felt like maybe I was only making things worse. Oh my gosh, character growth. Oh, fuck. I almost thought that was Kozue for a second, but she's too expressive. Oh my god. Now he gets to shit on the little sister again for doing nothing. She's done nothing wrong and he's just awful to her. I heard an annoying girl calling out to me as I left the school building. Nanami ran up to me with a trash can in her arms. Is she about to fucking annihilate someone in the head with it? Fucking goddamn Canyon style? What the fuck? She seemed to be in the middle of taking out the garbage. Okay, so she wasn't about to hit somebody with it. Yeah, it's probably for the best. That would be a DQ. Why'd she have to bother me then? I tried to ignore her and leave, but as always, she refused to let me go. Nanami yanked on the hem of my blazer. Yeah, you tell him. Don't run after me if you don't even have anything to talk about. Yeah. Or just don't talk to him. Hit him with stuff. You never call home. Yeah. Yeah, amazing that any of you continue to have expectations for this fucking clown at all. Good, you understand. That's the kind of intellect I want to see in my little sister. Not that I need a 3D little sister at all. So creepy. I hate this dude. I can't wait till the science adventure kills him. Ugh, crap. I should have known that was how this was going to end up. Won't somebody rid me of this obnoxious little sister? No, if that was impossible, I at least wanted to get back at her a little. Oh my god. I'd wanted to get back at her for a long time, actually. Oh, what kind of horrible thing is he going to do to this poor girl? Hey, I had an idea. I had a plan that I'd been working on for a while. This was my chance to put it into practice. Maybe it would give me a little bit of vengeance. Oh god, what is he going to do? I looked around to make sure he's going to do something terrible to her for sure. And if you follow him when he sounds like that, he is probably doing the fucking Mr. Burns, just excellent. Like, don't go anywhere near him. Man, she was annoying. I'm just trying to fucking prank you. Goddamn, quit asking questions. You just shut up and follow me. Outside. Yeah, maybe she is dumb. Her eyes were wide with shock. Yeah, that's why you should be insta-suspicious of him. He's gonna do something shitty, I know it. There weren't that many people in the yard. At lunchtime, it was filled with students eating lunch. Yeah. Nobody but the gardening club would bother coming here after school, though. She put her trash down and looked at me with a smile. Trusting. Foolish. Grr. Grr. She was so annoying. I didn't think she'd want me to pay a price for it. Yeah, I just want to do something shitty to you. Why do I gotta buy you dinner first? Especially since I'd already bought her MacD's. Oh, whatever. Yeah, again, why you should be suspicious. I was actually lying though. Sri for being a liar, lol. I handed Nanami my cell phone. Then I asked her to call the number. Oh, okay. Who is it? No. At least it's not like a sex hotline or something. Or maybe it is. I don't know. Somebody I know online. I want you to talk one of my suspicious online friends. She looked at me suspiciously, so I came up with the most plausible sounding lie I could. 'Cause I am scared. You'll know when you do it. Are you plotting something? Geez, would you shut up? Just shut up and do what I tell you. And if you can't do that, then leave. I don't need you for anything except for this thing that I can't do. I tried to take the phone back, but Nanami pulled her hand away from me. She doing this all for a Big Mac. That's fucking dedication. You don't get to talk. Yeah, you're not my selfish brother. I held back my anger and gulped as I waited for her to call the number. Ugh, Jesus. Always gotta adjust. Nanami innocently put the phone to her ear and waited for someone to answer. I could see the yellow bangle on her wrist as she held up the phone. Oh, excuse me. It's the coffee. That was the one I gave her. Or more precisely, that she'd taken from my room. Bitch. She was wearing it to school. Did she like it that much? Yuck. Liking things. That cheap bangle I got for free? That only does +5 defense? What a waste. Nanami really did have terrible fashion sense. Maybe I was one to talk, though. Yeah, no shit. You literally only wear your school vest. So, fuck you, man. It wasn't important right now. Who was going to answer the phone? Who was phone? Some scary DQN guy? I hoped it was just a prank and had nothing to do with Shogun or Yua. Someone seemed to have picked up. Nanami had spoken into the receiver, but she soon furrowed her brow. She offered the phone back to me. Uh-oh. Bako ni? The number is not in service. Oh my God. I took the phone up to my ear, and what I heard was, "The number you are trying to reach is no longer in service." It was true. Maybe it really was just a prank then. Just a prank, bro. Maybe whoever was behind it would just call a bunch of random numbers and prank them before ditching the phone and the number they were using. That was a lot of work for a prank. People do it. There are some sick fucks out there. Well, it wasn't my problem. Now that I know the mysterious call is just a prank, I felt much safer. I left Nanami behind and started to walk, but Nanami followed after me. Shut up.
掃除中だろ。ゴミ箱置きっぱなしだぞ。
ね、でも説明聞いてないもん。
僕は帰る。
I'm going home. You ain't getting no fucking MacD's either. Fuck you. Nanami grabbed me, but I ignored her and started to quickly walk toward the school gate.
お兄、じゃあマクディおごり約束だからね。ちゃんと。
知るか。
ちょっと嘘ついたの？
Why are you shocked? Like, this guy is a vile piece of shit. Like, why do any of these characters have any expectations for this guy? Like, he does nothing but provably suck. Nanami came to a stop, pouting, but I kept walking. There it is, Onino Baka. Let's go. She screamed loud enough for everyone to hear. Yeah, you'd call him Baka Hentai as well. Call him all sorts of names. Call the police. Just accuse him of shit. Who cares? Something's gotta stick to this fucking clown. I looked back, annoyed, and she was glaring at me, shoulders heaving with rage. You should hope for that radiation to fry his fucking balls. Crap. Thanks to Nanami's yelling, I was starting to attract attention. I had to go unnoticed at school. Haha, way to go, Nanami. Drag him. Yeah, she's the problem here. Like, did they anticipate that anybody would relate to or like this guy? I can't imagine they did. They were like, let's make this guy as just misery as possible, huh? Headed for the gate at a jog, ignoring her. The best move at a time like this was to run. She looks like she's smiling there, like, yeah! Baka. I could hear her screaming even outside the gate. Yeah. There was an artist I liked called Higashi Matasima. Higashi Matasima was super famous. Ooh, he's super famous. And his circle had huge lines at every event they attended. His new Bloodtoon Dojin, which had come out in the summer, had sold out in an instant. I'd wanted to go, but those events were always too crowded for me. I'd reluctantly given up too many 3D girls and DQNs. I thought that I could just buy it from Manga Darake, but I'd been naive. Oh, whatever visual novel program this is coded in, it allows for those special characters like umlauts and carrots and shit. That's pretty great. Because I tried making something with Renpai, and getting a special character like that was such a pain in the ass that I decided to just use a different word. They'd sold some copies there, but they were gone in minutes. The things were going for tens of thousands of yen above retail online, too. Freaking net resellers, I hope they'd all just die. I thought I'd have to give up entirely. But on @chan yesterday, I'd happened to see a post saying that Manga Darake had gotten a new shipment in. That's why I'd come here right after school. Oh, Kami-sama ain't watching you, brother. Staying far the hell away from you. What do we got? What's on sale? We got Abukuma. Oh my god. What does that say? Mirage Avis. Mirage Avis, Abukuma. That's the only ones that I can really make out. The titles. Those are the only ones they saw fit to translate. The rest of them are just like, fuck it. Fuck you too. I searched the doujinshi corner as thoroughly as I could. I went back and forth again and again, searching and searching. No Bloodtoon for you, get fucked. But I couldn't find it. Sob. Was it sold out already? I glanced quickly at the register. The cashier was a girl. She wasn't... What the fuck? She wasn't very cute, but she looked friendly. Jackass. Fuck you, man. Asking a cashier if they had something in stock was an extremely high-level technique, and one I'd never used in my life. I've never asked for anything at a store. The reason was simple. I didn't have the courage. Especially since Higashi Matasema's new dojin was called Seidatan's Extreme Cause. Not a chance. Excuse me, do you have copies of Seidatan's Extreme Cause? If I asked a female cashier that, she'd probably stab you right in the fucking shaft. I'd look like a pervert. Yeah, not happening. I mean, you already act like a pervert, so why not just let everyone else call a spade a spade? In the end, I gave up and left. Oh, man. You know, it's funny because you want to be able to relate to, like, kind of the real world anxiety that he has that I'm certain a lot of people share. But he's just so repugnant a character that all of his very real anxieties become extra mockable. Ha. Maybe I should just go home. Or maybe I should head to At Cafe. As I walked along, uncertain of what to do, I caught a glimpse of a certain sword I recognized in the corner of my eye. Its distinctive shape, like it was split in two at the edges, was the same that Girl B, that is, Sena, had been holding. I could see its tip peeking above I saw the tip peeking above the crowd of people. Oh, shit. It was coming toward me. Oh, what? Just the tip was coming toward you? That's crazy. Quickly ran into a nearby arcade. I hid in the shadows and watched as Sena walked by. She was heading to the station at a fast pace, the same scary look on her face that she always had. It didn't seem like she'd noticed me. That said, after experiencing for myself how embarrassing it was to carry a D-sword down the street, it was hard not to be impressed by her. Wasn't she embarrassed at all while carrying that? Oh my goodness. I hate how late it is. The cops had to have stopped her at least once, right? I was sure of it. She was getting further and further away from me. She was falling away from me. Falling away. Beating me down. Sena was getting, yeah. Where could she get a cool D-sword like the one she has? The one I'd bought didn't glow and it didn't look that cool. Honestly, I was pretty dissatisfied with it. No returns. It's bullshit. Compared to mine, Sena's was incredibly cool. I bought the D-sword as a good luck charm, mostly. I'd been scared to death and was ready to cling to anything that might offer salvation. After what had happened with Rimi, I felt a little better, but the situation hadn't really changed. Shogun, Yua, I still had a lot of enemies. So many enemies, so many ops, and there's too many options. That's why I wanted a stronger looking D-sword. Of course, part of it was that I was an otaku and we like to collect things. As if drawn by Sena's D-sword, I found myself heading out to Scramble Crossing. I bit my lip. Crap. I hadn't wanted to come near the station. I didn't even want to go to Center Street or to school. I'd only done it reluctantly because I had to. Being surrounded by people I didn't know made me feel like I had nowhere to run. It felt hard to breathe. I need a little time to think. I need a little room to breathe. Oh, I love it when you fuck up a reference. As usual, the place was packed. I started to feel sicker and sicker. For a while, I just stared at the ground, trying not to throw up, hopefully in the middle, right? When I looked up again, the D-sword was gone. I thought I'd seen her walking over to the Hachiko statue. Wow, look at all those people, fuck! Look at all the sprites they've managed to get on one screen, that's crazy. Call of Duty could never. The crosswalk lights on Scramble Crossing had just turned green. Many people began to walk in many different directions. The area inside the crossing was pure chaos. Yeah, look at it. People walking in two whole directions. It shocked me that so many people could be going in their own directions without slamming into each other. Yeah, how does that happen? Excuse me. Sorry about that. Oh, I mean, I'm just so excited at what's happening on screen. Looking at it, I realized how impossible my delusion of an empty scramble crossing the other day was. There probably wasn't a single second in a year when this place was empty. Maybe. I don't know. Why was I chasing after Senna anyway? I couldn't even ask a cashier at Manga Darake if they had a dojin in stock. How was I supposed to be able to talk to that scary Sena girl about her scary Sena sword? She might even be an enemy. If I walked right up to her without any defenses up, there's no telling what she would do to me. Well, she's holding a sword, so I think there's like one major thing that she could do to you if she was going to do something to you. I was being crazy. I should just go home. But when I turned to go... Oh, whips and chains. Let's fucking go. Noticed a white chain lying on the road. And while I couldn't be sure, because the other pedestrians were blocking my view, it looked like it led all the way to the other side of Scramble Crossing. What was that about? It was an awfully long chain. Was it some kind of construction thing? It didn't look like anybody was doing any kind of construction. It was hard to believe somebody would just leave this chain here. Yeah, who leaves chains? Who even uses chains? What are they even for? Maybe it was for a TV or movie shoot? No, they wouldn't do a shoot with all these people around. I'd shoot on all those people around, you know. That's a wrestling thing. I realized right after I said it that sounded really bad. I meant to say shoot as in wrestling. You know, like the opposite of a work. So, don't take that out of context. Please. I get enough going on. I'm a very busy boy. I'm tired all the time, so we might just cut this bit. It would be a hassle. It would be a hassle. I'd be so hassled. Oh my god. Either way, it was in the way of pedestrians and cars. I would work. Oh my god. Fuck. Confused. I looked at the people around me to see how they reacted. This coffee ain't doing shit. Looked like you could easily trip over the thing, but nobody was paying it any attention. I rubbed my eyes and stared at it again, wondered if I just hallucinated it. But the chain was still there. Okay, so why do we need the blue text for the word hallucinated? This entire game is about delusions. It was creepy, so I didn't have the courage to touch it. It wasn't a cheap plastic thing. It was made out of tough-looking metal. How long had it been there? Normally, I would think it was a trap. I'd assume something terrible was waiting for me on the other end of it and run away in fear. But for some reason, I couldn't stop thinking about where it might lead. A kind of oppressive force was taking over my mind and telling me I needed to follow it. I stumbled into several people as I went, but I managed to make it to the other side of the crossing before the light turned red. He's just like, how are these people not walking into each other? And he's just going, bouncing off of them like goddamn Plinko. The chain led to an old train car painted dark green that was sitting next to the Hachiko statue. The train car's wheels had been removed, so it was more like a monument than something you could actually use. This car was open to anybody who wanted to go inside, if I remembered right. To do what? Just sit in it and just look at it? That's interesting. The chain, well, I mean, Japan's got a big thing for trains, so I guess that would make sense. Like, there's an entire show about trains turning into robots to fight monsters. Godzilla was in that show. And so was Hatsune Miku. And so was Evangelion characters. Twice. Crazy. There were a lot of people waiting around Hachiko, but nobody was paying it any attention. They didn't even seem to notice it was there. Oh, is it not supposed to be there? Is there not a train monument? It didn't seem like there was anybody inside the train car. I gulped and looked inside. Wah! Go, 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 girl! It was only then that I realized it was a trap. It's a trap. Have to do it. I don't understand why it had taken me this long to notice. The train car, it seemed empty, but there was actually a single person inside. You don't know that. She could have a boyfriend or even a girlfriend. You don't know. You don't know. Senna Aoi was sitting in one of the red seats, her legs crossed. Her sharp gaze was locked firmly onto me. For some reason, she had she does have a popsicle in her hand. That shade of blue. It was Garugari-kun. It was a Garugari-kun, wasn't it? No, Garugari-kun wasn't important right now. That's like this whole game. So many lines are just not important right now, but he says them anyway. And then he adds a line saying how it didn't matter. The strange thing was, I didn't see her huge D sword anywhere. It was so big. Where was she hiding her huge D sword? Instead of the sword, the white chain was coiled up at her feet. I realized that when we'd last met, she'd said something about being at the train car. This must have been what she'd meant. So she'd been the one to put the train out there. Had she actually walked around carrying that huge thing? It had to weigh at least 10 kilograms, and it was probably over 50 meters long. There was something about this girl that was just beyond my understanding. Let me convert that. So 10 kilograms to pounds is 22 pounds. That's 22 pounds, and 50 meters to feet is 164 feet. I guess that's a reasonable guess. It looks like a 20-pound chain that is 164 feet long. Is she Shogun? I got scared and tried to run, but then her sharp gaze came flying at me. She threw her eyes. Ah.
Hi.
Oh, come in. Vampire style. You can just enter. She's giving you permission. Ha 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 ha. You're vampire-er. Suddenly I stopped. There was a note of command in her voice. It was like this train car was her personal possession. Of course, I didn't have any intention of going inside. I said, fuck that. I didn't know who this girl was. I could barely talk to 3D girls anyway. I didn't want to get involved. Senna's voice was commanding and brooked no dissent. She wasn't moving, but if I made the slightest move to run, there was no telling what she'd do. Again, she's got a chain and a popsicle. She's very limited in her options. That said, though, none of it would be good for you. She might be a really high-level DQN, the kind who wouldn't think twice about getting violent with a man. Listen, you're not a man. You are a boy, and a sad boy at that. I was scared. I was so scared. But if I was obedient, it might just make things even worse. Why aren't you in uniform? I'd had to deal with DQNs a few times in my life. The best thing to do was always to run. I was not dealing with anything. Whether you did what they said or not, something awful always ended up happening to you. So the best thing to do was to run. I needed to find a way to get out of here. Did he just fall? Did he get fucking clubbed from behind? A little back into the left action going on here? Suddenly something pushed me forward. I was caught off guard, lost my balance, falling forward like an idiot into the train. Shocked, I turned around to the entrance to see who'd pushed me. There were a lot of people outside, but I couldn't tell which one of them had done it. Maybe they'd already run away. Why'd they push me, though? Who'd do something so mean? Yeah, why is somebody mean to me? I'm so nice to everybody else. I'd hit my knee when I'd fallen and it hurt a little. It's a good thing you got your little frog bandage, you bitch. I slowly staggered to my feet, being careful not to look Senna in the eye. Suddenly I realized something. Yeah, he wasn't pushed, he was pulled by the chain. The coiled chain that had been at Senna's feet just a moment ago was now completely gone. She must have moved it somewhere. And I hadn't heard any sound, and she'd been sitting in her seat the whole time. And even if she'd moved it, where'd she moved it to? Her butt? Like, she's kind of limited in options. It's actually a tail. I couldn't see the chain anywhere in the car. Where was the error? Where's the lie? Senna asked me another strange question, completely ignoring my confusion. I shook my head quickly in confusion, and her expression only grew sterner. She looks like she's inserting the popsicle. It's like she's got no mouth, they're just trying to press it through her skin, absorb a popsicle through osmosis. That's crazy. She looked away from me, sighing a little and nibbling on her popsicle. When she released me from her terrible gaze, I almost collapsed. I wanted to sit on a seat, but she'd probably say something. I gave up on the idea. Yeah. You were following me and I don't like it, because I find you creepy. Error? Oh man. If that was what she meant, then yes, I'd seen it. I followed that strange white chain all the way here. I got rid of it. It was my delusion. Delusion? What was she talking about? You have one too. Yeah, shit one. Huh? She thought I had one? Of course I didn't. This conversation wasn't making any sense. To see, but not believe. Naughty! Senna glanced at me before jerking her head in the direction of the window. Some roast beef, some chicken, a pizza. People. I saw lots of people. There were even more than there'd been a second ago. The millions. Just looking at them made my head hurt. People with their, oh Jesus, people with their heads down playing with their cell phones. People laughing as they talked on the phone. People just standing and watching other people go by. Most of the people I could see from where I was standing seemed to be waiting for someone else. Actually, how come none of these people actually tried to come inside the train? Oh, there are errors. We call them people. People exist because everything runs on electricity. Let's plug it into a surge protector. Was this her weird personal fanfic of life? I mean, I had similar fantasies all the time of sitting on a train eating popsicles. I'm a boring man. I was going to tell her not to have them. All the novels, all the movies, all the anime in the world came from goofy fantasies. Well, not all of them. So why were the fantasies of a novelist or a director okay, while the ones amateurs like me came up with were mocked? Because you're creepy. And it's, it's generally not good for someone creepy to have fantasies that are creepy. So you will be mocked for that. And what's more, think about it. All the great people in history had goofy, childish fantasies. The Wright brothers honestly believed they could fly over 100 years ago. But they did. They did fly. Napoleon actually told people the word impossible is not in my dictionary. Did he say that? Let's find out. We're going to fact check Chaos Head Noah right now. Napoleon Bonaparte, the word impossible, quote. Alright, so that is not what he said. He did not say the word impossible is not in my dictionary. He said impossible is a word to be found only in the dictionary of fools. And if you look at how things ended for Napoleon, he was a bit of a fool. Certainly for Josephine. Fucking idiot. So. It certainly wasn't in the cold Russian winter dictionary. Got you, Napoleon. What you gonna do, bitch? You shouldn't make fun of somebody for having fantasies. All of history's greats had fantasies. Yeah, you shouldn't make fun of Napoleon Bonaparte. Yeah, don't make fun of Napoleon. Or whatever other stupid example he gave. The problem was, the Wright brothers. This girl had suddenly started sharing hers with me. She's giving that Maki Harukawa pose, that little thumb bite. 80%. Wait, what? 80% of the information you get from your senses is vision? What? Yes, the brain is electrical impulses. Okay, yes, that's true. It was kind of like a phone, I thought. Who was phone? I was phone. The phone number, the missed call, was from his own brain. The phone took somebody's voice and turned it into an electrical signal, and then sent that information to someone else far away. She read my mind! No, that was impossible. Had I spoken aloud without realizing it again? VR? You are in VR. Virtual reality? The game is from 2008. It's fair for him to be like, what's that? Of course, this time I was careful not to say it aloud. Oh, never mind. Visual rebuilding. Not virtual reality, idiot. Huh, I was wrong. I'd never heard of that. Psychophysiologists? Blind from birth and make it so they can see what's in front of them. Wow. It sounds like great science fiction. This is the fucking pickup truck can't use that technology properly right now. I'm not wondering. I don't care. It's a sci-fi game. I'm just accepting it. You know. Just suspending my disbelief. Oh, it's nerve impulses, huh? Sure. Totally. Yeah, you don't even have to really explain it all that deep. Just say it was the electricity did it, and I'll be like, alright, cool. Why did it happen? Because science fiction said it was okay. And I was like, alright, cool. Oh, they've already succeeded in tests. Oh, that's crazy. That sounds like one of those conspiracy shows. It was like, is such a thing even possible? Some fucking crackpots say yes. Was that true? It felt like a really well thought out delusion, but what kind of delusion includes stuff about patents? Yeah, you get a really wordy delusion, madam. Ooh, discoveries and patents. Senna turned her gaze away from the window and toward me. She looks like she's trying to go for a punch, but doesn't know how to make a fist. She crossed her legs again, slowly, suggestively. Shocking. The train was right in front of Shibuya Station, but it was strangely quiet. It felt like the sound was being shut out. Of course, it was just my imagination, but I remembered the empty Shibuya I'd seen days ago, and couldn't take my eyes off the crowd outside. They sure do. It sure does. As long as you can control the electricity, you can control other people. This girl, I was in shock. She was more delusional than even Yua or me. What she said sounded logical on the surface, kind of, but it was clearly just a fantasy. Caught in a landslide. No escape from reality. Oh, they're shifting their research. Oh, that's crazy. It's so dangerous. The American president, whoever that is, issued an executive order to try and stop it. No, actually, that tracks. I mean, this game is from 2008, but it was probably being developed before that, so yeah, I could see that guy doing it too. How much of what she was saying was actually true? Probably about that much, if I had to guess. No researching the secrets of it. That was Bush. He did do that, but he was talking about like stem cells. That was his thing. Senna looked down. She tightly clenched her fists as they rested in her lap. The world is full of scum. Yeah, you're sitting across from some of that scum. The kind of scum who will ignore ethics of any kind. That sounds like Takumi Nishijo. Nothing for sacrificing others for their own gain. Yeah, he would totally sacrifice, what was her name? Kozue Orihara. Sacrifice her getting helped up the stairs in favor of him not having to talk to a icky girl. Oh, it makes her want to puke. Gross. She put the last of the melting Garugari-kun popsicle into her mouth, then stood up. I stepped back, only to find my back against the wall. Oh my god, naivete again. Doubt the world, learn how it works, or die trying. This world is imperfect. She was walking toward me. I thought she might punch me. If only. And tried to shield myself with my arms, but Senna just walked straight past me. Haha, even better. Fuck you. Oh, is this real? Whose eyes are those? She whispered as she passed me, without so much as a glance my way. And then she left the train. I watched Senna walk away through the train car's window, standing there in shock. She disappeared into the crowd without turning around once. In the end, I never did figure out what she was trying to say, because she died on the way back to her home planet. The one thing I could tell was that she really hated the world. A completely typical teenager, I guess. From my perspective, the Jedi are evil. Having to listen to all that crazy stuff was just a nuisance. The way she spoke made it sound like she was a teacher giving a lecture. In 2D, the way she talked might be kind of moe, but in the real world that just made her seem like a DQN. I fucking hate this guy so much. But I was glad she didn't attack me. I can think of very few protagonists in visual novels or games like this that I've hated as much as this guy. Like, a lot of them tend to be on the shit side, but oh, fucking Takumi Nishijo. It's on sight, brother. For some reason, she had this air about her, like she might slap someone at any time for any reason, especially if they were shitty pervert boys like me. I felt like I needed to rest for a moment, so I sat down in the seat where Senna had been sitting a moment ago, absorbing her warmth. A second later, a DQN-looking couple came inside. Then soon after them, 3 DQN-looking girls came in. Then an old DQN-looking man, and then a young DQN salary man in a DQN suit. So many DQNs. It's never-ending cavalcade of DQNs. Fuck out of here, man. Before long at all, the car was jammed tight with people. Nobody had tried to come in when Senna was here, so why had it suddenly changed? Delusions. Where the fuck have you been? The voices of the girls and DQN couple were annoying me. I whispered, "Die," several times to myself, silently before leaving. You know, usually if I'm whispering "die" at people, random passersby, it's because they've done something. You know, like cut me off in traffic. Yeah, this weird chick was hassling me. "You have angered me." Listen, Nightheart, you keep saying you're not into 3D chicks, but you seem to be having a whole lot of fun with them. You said one broke inside your house the other day. That's totally out of an H game. Ah! You've got some luck lately, Ashola. Listen to me. Listen to what I'm saying. Listen to my story. Yes, I'll admit I've had more chances to talk to cute girls, but I have fucked all of them up, so I've failed masterfully. But they're all crazy. Let's see how you'd react if they tried their weird fantasy shit on you. This is seriously scary, man. Lol Sri. Saw good. I don't know how to make that face. Even after I made it home, I couldn't get Senna's words out of my mind. Not just one. She said more than one. Of course, I didn't think it was real, but that part about the patents and the executive order, I could find if I decided to look it up, but I didn't want to do that. It was a waste of time. Fuck that. Didn't have the courage. No, well, I actually did start looking. Oh, excuse me. Grimm knew somebody who lived in the U.S. Oh, I live there. That's crazy. Yeah, you can't Google things that happen in America when you live in Japan. These days, nobody would believe anything without a source. Oh, if only. If only. I wish it were those days. Yeah, 2008 was a different time. I got word from Shiho. Shiho was Grimm's net buddy. They lived in the U.S. and spoke fluent English, supposedly. It was bullshit, right? That crazy bitch. She probably thought she could fool me because I didn't speak English. You're saying this about this other dude's friend? Don't underestimate the internet. Hiya! Glad that's settled. They found it. Oh. Found what? They're translating it for us. I'll up it for you. That's another troll. Ha, you don't trust me, huh? Lol. Well, I guess I can understand why, given all the shit I pull, lol. Want to bring Shiho in? Ha, ha, ha. Grimm had lied to me about all kinds of stuff. Usually when he did something like this, he'd make me look at some disgusting mental browser crash link. But he even had a source and was saying he'd invite Shiho. If this is a troll, I'm banning you from the guild. Okay. This time he can trust me. He seemed confident. Maybe this time I could trust him. I hope it's fucking gore. My heart pounded as I clicked on the link, narrowing my eyes so that I wouldn't be able to see it clearly at first. Oh, welcome to patents. It was a paper written in English, but it's too blurry. I'm not even gonna try. I don't have my glasses. Nope. Too far out of reach. Sorry, guys. I can't read it today. It said United States patent. That is what those say. This is very believable. Patent. So it was true. In other words, this was a patent. Yep. I still prefer this. Or no, it was like this. Not this. She didn't do this. She did that fucking chopstick style. It was real. I opened one of the 2 text files that were attached with it. It was a Japanese translation of an article talking about the patent. The Victor Chandria University Psychophysiology Lab is current working on a revolutionary technology called visual rebuilding. The technology is intended for the field of therapeutics and is being eagerly followed by blind people over the world. Oh, there's room for some really bad jokes. I'm not going to make them because I'm better than that. This revolutionary invention would allow the blind to see with the aid of a visual device such as a camera. To explain in basic terms how it works, the electronic signals generated by the video camera are transformed into nerve impulses, the one form of electrical signal the brain can read. These signals are transmitted to the optic nerves and through them to the brain. Tests have been successful, and a patent was issued. Successful. It's real. What Senna had been saying wasn't just some silly fantasy then. I gulped and clicked on the other file. Official order issued by the White House, 3/7/1997. Oh, so that would have been Clinton. That's interesting. Strengthening protections of research into the secrets of the human body. No organization may do any research into the secrets of the human body without informed consent or support any other organization that conducts such research. Good. Informed consent. That's good. You want that. This order will go into effect on March 27th, 1998. That's about a month, or about a month away from the anniversary. If appropriate legislation passes. William J. Clinton. It was Bill Clinton. No shit. They knew who the president was. That's fun. An executive order from the President of the United States. Did he sign documents as William J? I don't know. I mean, I was a little baby boy when he was president, so... Like, when he left office, I was like 8. Wasn't really paying a whole lot of attention. It was like something you'd see in the backstory for a movie. Yeah, Bill Clinton signing patents. That's like a backstory for a movie. I clicked on the link, too, just to be sure. I could read the English, even if I couldn't speak it. I was a lot smarter than the DQNs. I went to school every day after all. Yeah, fucking humble, too. The actual text was more or less the same as the translation I'd been given. Just had to throw that extra line in about how super smart he was. Senna's words echoed in my mind. If it were possible to convert a certain deliberately chosen information pattern into nerve impulses, you'd be able to control all 5 of a person's senses. Whoa. This whole thing was getting kind of complicated, but knowing what Senna said, and that there was a source online to back it up, made my skin crawl. It felt like there was some kind of terrible secret involved with all of this, and what worried me more than anything was the fact that Senna had chosen to tell me this. Did it have something to do with me? Am I special, important, in some way? Hope not. The idea of controlling another person's will seemed to, at least, I still hadn't ruled out the possibility that I was sleepwalking. Supposedly, the other day, the third New Gen incident, Crucified, happened. I'd been using the account Shogun to chat at Cafe, and I didn't remember Rimi at all either. I'd supposedly spent over a year with her as a classmate, and even gone to hang out at a few times, but I didn't remember it at all. Maybe I'd done all that while someone was controlling me. After all, there was no way a guy like me, who could barely talk to 3D girls, could ever be friends with cute girls like Rimi. Oh, she has officially moved into a different classification of girl. Good for her. Way to be upgraded, Rimi. Saving a man's life is all you had to do to be upgraded from 3D girl to cute girl. I was overthinking it. The thing with the chat, at least, was just a delusion of you was. Shogun was someone else, and just trying to set me up. I wasn't sure if he was actually the old man in the wheelchair I'd seen in front of the 107 building, but it didn't matter. It was even possible that Senna was working with Shogun, too. Maybe she was trying to trick me. I couldn't believe what she was saying. I didn't know anything about her, and I couldn't trust her. Senna was no different than Yua. That's what I should be thinking. Right, Seda-tan? Why don't you ever answer me, Seda-tan?